The process of forgiveness. Unforgiveness is a primary piece of garbage that opens the door for demonic invasion. Some Christians do not understand forgiveness. Once, I was ministering to a Christian brother who was contemplating divorce. As I prayed over him, nothing came out. However, I heard the Holy Spirit say, "Unforgiveness, his parents." I stopped the prayer and asked the young man about it. "Oh," he said, "I forgave my parents a long time ago." The following week, he came back for more prayer. Once again, the Holy Spirit said, "Unforgiveness, his parents." I asked him again. He repeated his confident answer, "I forgave them a long time ago." I switched the subject to ancestral curses and asked him what he knew about his ancestors. "Nothing," he replied. "Maybe you should talk to your parents," I remarked. "Ask them what they know about your ancestors." "No way," he said. "I forgave them, but I don't have to talk to them. I stopped talking to them 10 years ago." His parents lived only a few blocks from him. They yet hadn't spoken with each other in over a decade. Genuine forgiveness restores relationships where possible or practicable. Certainly, there are cases where it may not be healthy or prudent to restore relationships, as in the cases in history of abuse or assault, but such circumstances are rare. For the most part, when it comes to hurts from family and friends, restoring a relationship with them not only brings a spiritual and emotional healing, but also stands as a reminder of God's forgiveness toward each one of us. Love is the basis of forgiveness. Love seeks to restore relationships. God does not want resentment and bitterness to take root in your heart. In truth, a person can forgive somebody, yet still harbor bitterness against him or her. Some believers see forgiveness as simply issuing a blanket statement. "I forgive everyone in the whole wide world who has ever sinned against me from the time I was born up till now." Unfortunately, this is not that easy. God requires forgiveness of specific people for specific actions before demonic bondages can be broken. That is, one should mention the person's name and forgive the specific trespass he or she has committed. Forgiveness is like an onion that is peeled in layers. When I was young, someone hurt me over the length of time. Before I became Christian, I would engage in long discussion about all the truths or all the hurts that people gave me. After becoming a Christian, I forgave the individual, but I would still occasionally participate in poor me sessions where the hurts were reopened and examined. My wife would say, "I thought you forgave that person." I would stop in my tracks and think, "I guess I haven't then." Then I would forgive again. A few months later, hurts would come up again, although maybe not as intense as before. My wife would say once more, "I thought you forgave." Once again, I would go through the previous process of forgiving that person. Finally, after 3 or 4 cycles of repenting and forgiving, I eventually stopped complaining about the person altogether. Not because I consciously disciplined myself, but because it just never came up. I had finally completed the forgiveness process. Unforgiveness is a primary piece of garbage that opens the doors for demonic invasion. As a rule, the deeper the hurt, the deeper the forgiveness has to go. In some cases, it will take more than one attempt at forgiveness. I'm not saying that the people can not forgive some things in one sitting. In some cases, they can. However, since demons attach to deeper-seated resentments, if forgiveness becomes a process, deliverance will also become a process.